Let me describe a couple to you and tell me if it sounds familiar. She works in marketing, making about $60,000 a year. He works in IT, making about $70,000. Together, the household income is about $133,000. Now, on paper, that sounds like they should be doing great. They should be saving money, building wealth, taking family vacations, and feeling financially secure. But instead, they feel stressed. They check their bank account before saying yes to things. They might have a little savings, maybe a couple months of expenses, but when something unexpected happens, like a car repair, it ends up going on a credit card. And the craziest part, they did everything right. They got the degrees, they built the careers, they got married, they combined their finances, they bought a house in a decent school district. They did exactly what they were told would lead to financial stability. So why does it still feel like they're barely staying ahead? If you've ever looked at your household income and thought, we make too much money to feel this stressed, you're definitely not alone. And this is something I see all the time with families today. Two incomes are coming in. Both parents are working hard, but instead of feeling more secure, they feel stretched. And for a lot of people, this creates confusion. And because they think the problem must be something they're doing wrong. Maybe they're not budgeting well enough. Maybe they're not disciplined enough. Maybe they just bad with money. Okay. But when I've seen over and over is that the problem usually isn't discipline. It's the structure behind it. The way most households are set up today naturally pushes families into a situation where both incomes are required just to keep everything running. Like you just have to have both jobs in order for you to be able to get by. So think about how quickly expenses grow in a two-income household. Housing tends to increase because lenders qualify you based on your combined income. Childcare, it becomes a major expense when you have kids. And there's two commutes instead of one. Each person has to have a car or you have to catch the bus. And two busy schedules often lead to more convenient spending. So you have to eat more takeout because you don't have the time at home to be able to make the meals. You have to go out and eat because it's just easier and convenient. More services that save you time. Hiring services to come in and clean your house. None of those things are bad, okay? Not saying that. They're simply the reality of just two busy adults trying to keep things moving and keeping their household afloat. But what ends up happening is that little by little, the household lifestyle expands to match both incomes. And eventually, you see it, the household just doesn't benefit from two incomes. It depends on them. So you don't have that flexibility anymore. So before I go further, if this conversation is resonating with you and you're realizing you want a simpler way to organize your finances, I actually put together a free training where I walk through that system that I use in my household and other families and bring that more structure and peace to your finances. So I'll link it below. So if you can watch it after this video, if you want to go deeper, please feel free. So now let's talk about what actually creates the stress for so many households. So the real challenge starts when both incomes become required for every single month. Like the mortgage depends on it. The cars depend on it. The monthly expenses depend on it, which means if one income ever stops, even temporarily, the entire system feels fragile. If someone gets sick, if someone needs to step back for family reasons, if burnout hits, suddenly the household isn't just adjusting, it's struggling to keep everything afloat because you're trying to make sure you have everything covered. And in order to be able to feel that relief, it's just like, oh, we both have to work in order for us to be able to get things done and have our house move in the right direction. And that's why so many families making good money still feel financially anxious, not because they don't earn enough, but because their expenses expanded to match that income. And so one small mind shift can make a big difference. Instead of asking, how much house can we afford with two incomes? Or how much lifestyle can we support with two incomes? A more powerful question is, what would our household look like if we just had to rely on just one income for a season? Not because that's the plan, but thinking that way creates awareness. It shows you where your financial structure might be fragile. And once you see that clearly, you start making those small adjustments that create that breathing room again. So the goal isn't necessarily for one person to stop working. The goal is creating that flexibility because financial peace doesn't come from earning more and more money. It comes from knowing your household isn't running at full capacity all the time. When there's margin, there's less stress. And there's more confidence in your finances, they start supporting your life instead of controlling it. So before you go, if this conversation resonated with you and you want more content like this, simple, practical ways just to bring more clarity and peace to your finances, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video. And if you know another family who's working hard, earning good money, but still feel stretched, feel free to share this video with them. A lot of people are dealing with this and you just don't realize they're not alone. And I also love to hear from you in the comments. One small step I talked about in this video was simply asking the question, what would our household look like if we had to live on one income for a season? Write that in the comments below. I read every single one. And it also helps other families see that they're not the only ones working through this. So see you on the next video.